Hey, folks, Dave back here. A little midweek catching up. I want to see what you guys have been doing. I want to see what you've been playing, what's been going on. Over here, it's just been busy. We got some new seasons starting up, so tonight I had to actually, work with the captains on getting the new season going and setting that up. And it's always it's a fun time, but it's extra work at night. I didn't get to play anything last night. Usually when I come home on Tuesday nights, I like to play some. I was kind of beat. It's been hot out here. When it's hot and you skate, you're exhausted. So so I did play the other night. You might have seen. I get up a football back here on the channel, and I was playing the '78 Buccaneers and the '78 Detroit Lions. 'Cause I'm into week 2 now of that season. This is going to be a long project, but that's fine. I'm enjoying the heck out of that project, and it was awful. Awful. It was just awful. It was 3-0 at the half. The Lions, I think they had -1 total yards. It was terrible. It was such a bad game. And it got a little better in the second half. And then finally in the fourth quarter, I changed quarterbacks to the Buccaneers. It was their third quarterback of the day. Doug Williams came in and let him down the field. Each team got 14 points in the fourth quarter for a 26-14 final, but it was a bad game. Just and there I was, but I still enjoyed it, and we laughed about it. I screamed the second quarter. We laughed about it. It was so bad. As Barbara comes by, good to see Barbara. Her Rangers still hanging in there. That's going to be a series. That's going to be a series. What's that? Is that 2-2 now? That's going to be a series. That I said the Rangers and the Panthers are going to go 7. That's just going to be a tough series. And Andrew stops by. Hi, Andrew. And so I've been watching some of the playoffs. Boy, the Celtics. Boy, what were they doing, huh? They come back. I was watching some of them. They're down by 5 with a minute left, and they ended up winning by like 2 or 3 or something. It was crazy. So good for the Celtics coming back and winning and going to the final. So I'm happy to see that for them. But I tried to watch some basketball, and it was tough to watch. I was watching some of the Dallas and whoever they were playing, and it's just a 3-point contest. And I talked about this a little bit on the other stream, and it's just tough to watch. And then you go back, and I started watching some, like Larry Bird highlights and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar highlights. And it's like so much. I think it's so much better. I think it was. I enjoy working the ball inside, and when I'm playing my games, whether it's a video game or whatever, trying to work it inside and score instead of just coming down and just taking threes all over the place. It's like, But how funny is it that I've been really into the basketball games lately. I've been playing some basketball here on the channel and kicking around. I picked up a new game. I picked up the Hoops PC basketball game, which I really like. I do. I really like that game. It's a fun little clicking cards and dice game. You just follow along. Not many decisions to make, but sometimes I enjoy that. I enjoy if I can follow the game, the dice roll, and the card, and I can follow it like I do with the inside sports games. I'm okay with that a lot of times. I really am, and that's a great game for that. And but it's just I've been playing that. I pulled out my regular season basketball. I pulled out what was the other one I played? Oh, the Downey Player of the Game basketball, and I like that. That's the second time I've given that a try, and I like that now. And then of course, Bill Walton passes away, and he was a good guy. He was just such a good guy. I mean, at least I feel. I don't know him personally, but he always was smiling. I remember him winning the title with the Celtics there. I think it was the '80s, whatever it was. He come over, and he was kind of old and hurt, and he wasn't playing much, but he would come off the bench and play a few minutes and get it done. It was so fun watching him play with the Celtics. And then, he was in broadcasting for a while. He just seemed to be just, decent guy. And I like athletes like that kind of like relatable. Some of you could probably have a beer with and just they'd be okay with that. Again, just my perception of them, but it just stinks that I'm getting into basketball and we lose one of the good guys in basketball. And Barbara says it's 2-2 with the Rangers and the Panthers. And Kenny stops by. Yeah, we're doing okay over here. We're doing okay. We both were working out in the yard today. Boy, yard work is tiring, especially when you're older. Back in the day, you could cut the grass and weed whack and move stuff around and, whatever. It didn't bother you. Now I'm out there. We got this picnic table in the yard, and it's this heavy thing. She got it for free somehow. And luckily, she knew somebody with a pickup truck to bring it over, and it took like 5 or 6 people to carry it off the truck. This thing is just heavy. And so we got it in the back, and the only way I can move it is if I get underneath it, pick it up, and just throw it, roll it over. I have to roll this thing because I can't move it. It's too heavy even for me and her. And so it's like where it is. So I move it, I cut the grass, and then I flip it back up. So just doing that, mowing the grass on the mower, moving the tables, flipping the picnic table. And then I was cleaning up around the fence. When they put the fence in, they dug up a whole bunch of rocks. And I'm like moving the rocks. And it's like just doing that. Oh, then I did vacuum the stairs. I vacuum, by the way. I do vacuum. And I vacuumed the stairs, and I'm hunched over, and I was like dripping sweat because it was just so hot out today. And I got done. I was wiped out. I didn't play anything today. So I played the game of housework and yard work. That was my 2 games I played today. I didn't stream either one of them. I'm not sure if I won either one of them, although the stairs look good, by the way. And my buddy Ray was recording his podcast, and the internet dropped out with Wi-Fi. Yeah, we did the draft tonight using StreamYard here with the captains. And let me tell you, it's like guys kept dropping off. I say, hey, it's your pick. Where'd you go? I look, it's like, oh, you got to add them to the group. It's like, I did add them. Well, their Wi-Fi kept cutting out. And every time they cut out, they drop out, they join back, and I just didn't see them join back in. It's like, oh my gosh. So yeah, so the Wi-Fi's fun. That StreamYard's great, but not with Wi-Fi. It just doesn't go very well with the Wi-Fi. But anyway, so someone was asking about the fast action football from Downey Games, because they were looking and it says, I have APA, but it's kind of expensive. So I saw fast action football from Downey Games. Seasons are fairly inexpensive. I've played that before, and I keep wanting to pull it out and play it again. I actually pulled it out a few weeks ago when I get into the APA football, and I was like, oh, these full play games are great. I wanted to pull out the fast action football and play that again because I used to really like that. I went over that, and I'm looking at that game, and I had a lot of fun playing that back in the day, 4 or 5 years ago. But it's really a generic game compared to APA football and second season. It's really a generic type of game where you're just limited to what you can do. Your results are very limited. Everything is just kind of stripped down, bare bones. And it's still fun, but after playing APA, which I think is just the best one, I just do. And then second season is up there. And then I need to play second season again so I can get back into that and give that another go. And then also the Solitaire Pro Football. I keep saying I need to get back to all these games, right? So many great games here. I really do. And then I've been thinking about firing up some video games. I was watching, again, I just watch YouTube all day long. And today I was watching the new Star Wars Battlefront. They did the ones that were on the original Xbox back in like 2004, 2005. They just revamped them or something like that. And so I played the crap out of those. In fact, I used to do the Hoth mission right before hockey all the time. Is I'd set it up. It would take 10, 15 minutes. So I gave myself, 20, 25 minutes to play it, and would play that Hoth mission. And sometimes you'd get in the big AT-AT thing and just start shooting the rebels. That was fun. Other times I'd just get on a gun and just try to bring it down. I never could, but it's still fun. It just felt like you were on Hoth in a battle. And so I've been watching some videos on that. It's like, I might pick that up. I actually picked up a game on Steam last week or this weekend, and I couldn't get it to work. It was, I think it was called Toy Soldiers, and I have it on Xbox, and it's a fun game. It's the little green army men, and you just kind of fighting the enemy and with like army men, and you're on like a table. So picture as a kid, you set up a table with army men and soup cans, and so that's on the table because it's all miniature stuff and it's all like household stuff, but you're still having a battle, and it's so fun. And I bought it on Steam. It was like $7 or $8 or $10, and it wouldn't load. And when I went into the game forum there, a lot of people had the same problem, that it just wouldn't load on their newer machines. So I never got to play it. So I did get a refund, but I was kind of bummed because I was looking forward to playing that. That'd be a fun one to stream. So that didn't work. Let's see. Ray said this guy was on his shared Wi-Fi at his condo complex. Yeah, no doubt that didn't work. Not on StreamYard. Might work on audio only on something, but no, I watched some of that tonight. I watched some of Game 5, and it was like 1-0 Minnesota. And then Ron was on playing baseball, so I was watching Ron play his baseball game, and then I turned it back and it was 2-0 Minnesota. So I kind of figured that was it because very low scoring games. So I just didn't see Boston coming back. So I don't know who won. I mean, you're not going to tell me Boston stormed back and scored 3 goals, are you? And I missed a great finish because that was fun. I enjoyed it. I watched the overtime in Game 4. Really enjoyed that. I really, really did. So it looks like the Oilers are on the way to tying that series. They're up 5-2 now in the third. And there's a lot of Ray says there's a lot of area behind the nets at the lower rink. Oh, it's 3-0 Minnesota. So that must be the final by now because I know that they were closing out. I saw it on YouTube the other day. It was great. I was just on YouTube here the other night and I was doing some work. I think I was I was doing some work after the hockey game last night. What night was it? It was one night I was on the computer doing some work, and I always have YouTube on. And that come up, and it was like second overtime. Oh, I'm gonna watch this, And I ended up watching it, and then when they went to the next overtime, I think I went upstairs, and of course I'm watching it on YouTube. And luckily I was because I went to the bathroom and just take a pee and come back, and they had scored. And, oh man, what are the chances I watched the first overtime and most of the second overtime, and then they score, and I missed it, and I had to rewind it and watch it, So that was the final. And John comes by. Hi, John. Good to talk to you again. And David C comes by. So we're just kind of chatting. It's kind of a midweek catching up. Like I said, I finally did get Apple football back here on the table. It was a horrible game. And what do you do? That's what I want to ask you. What do you do when you're playing something and it's just a horrible game? And we all have them. Not every game can be just something you want to talk about, and it's like, oh man, this is one for the ages. Sometimes you get the yucky game, and that's what I had tonight. The other night, it was a yucky game, and so I streamed the second quarter. It was 3-0. It was bad. It was just everything was 4th and 20. The teams were just going backwards and backwards and backwards the whole night. And then the third quarter, things turned around, and then the fourth quarter was kind of exciting. Again, each team drove it down and got a couple of touchdowns, and that was kind of fun. But it was pretty much a dog. The game kind of stunk, but we have them, and you just got to play it out. And what's great on the computer when you have that on the computer, you can just skip ahead. You can skip ahead innings. You can skip ahead in football to the end of the quarters, and hockey end of the periods, or just end of the game. So if you're done, you can just see you later. I'm done with this game here. But cards and dice, you got to play it out. So I played it out and made the best I could. I just made the whatever I could do with it. And I just kind of visualized that the teams were sputtering, and then they finally got it going, and the mock cheers from the fans when Tampa Bay actually completed a pass. And it's just, I really don't look forward to playing any more Tampa Bay games. They're a tough team in 78. 79, they were a little bit better. They got to the playoffs, but 78, they weren't 0-14 anymore, but oh my gosh, they were kind of tough. And Detroit, not that good either. So that was kind of a not a good matchup, one I shouldn't have put on the air, but I did, and we made the best of it. But I need to get some more basketball back here. I got the regular season pulled out, player of the game. I still need to finish my player of the game tournament. That's kind of fun. And I got the Chris White cards over here. I was just looking at those. They're over here next to my fan. You can't see them over there. But next to my fan, I have Chris White's VSU basketball game and hockey game. And those are quick play games. You can play those in a couple of minutes. Now, that's something I need to do a project with because I could really play those games really fast. So I think I'm going to switch over to that and do my my playoffs. Have I seen the hype on the new Highlight Maker Hoops game? Any plans for getting that one? I have seen that. I know people are playing it. I think they either released or are going to release the full play game. I know some people have been playing it. I don't know if it's for sale yet, but the Highlight Maker Hoops, that was on my radar to pick up. At some point, I am going to get that. Again, I'm not a big basketball guy. So that might work to my advantage with the play games because you don't need to know all the strategy sometimes, at least from what I've seen in the videos. So yeah, the Highlight Maker Hoops, it's on my radar. to get, and I don't know about the full game or not. I saw somebody playing it. Was it Steve Taro was playing it tonight? And okay, Justin says it was just released, and it's the Highlight Maker Hoops Prime Time. Okay, I saw Steve Tower playing that tonight, or I think he was playing that with had like the chips on the different cards and stuff like that. And part of me thought about picking up the bank shot basketball from Payoff Pitch, Joe Bryan, Sideline Strategies. That looked kind of interesting because you could put all the cards on the table, and you didn't have to worry about substitutions. It would call out which guy was going to get the points or whatever, and so that looked kind of neat. But I still think what I'm going to do is I still think I'm gonna stick with the Highlight Maker Hoops PC because I don't have to really worry about too much. It does the substituting for you, I believe. You can just sim games if you want, and you can play any game you want. And it's kind of a cards and dice in a computer for guys like me who don't know all about the substituting, don't want to get into it, and they just want to play a quick basketball game. And it's not a quick game because you're going play by, so it's not a fast game. But compared to cards and dice, I think I can play it a lot faster, and it kind of handles all the stats. And I'm very much enjoying it. Again, for a basketball game, that's exactly kind of what I'm looking for. I want to go back to the Strat PC basketball game, and Ron's been playing that, and he really likes it, and so I want to go back and play that myself and see if I revisit that, how that goes. Because every now and then it's usually May is when I start getting in the basketball mode. I don't know why it's always May, and and then I get in the football mode right after basketball mode. But I remember that's when I found regular season basketball was in May. It's like I'm dying for a basketball game, and I went out and we found regular season basketball, and that's been so much fun. And I'm glad Marco got a little revival with his game because it's a great game, and a lot of people play it now, and I'm happy that they do. And I want to get back to playing that myself because it's fun when you're in a basketball mood. That's a fun game to play. It really is. I enjoy it. I enjoy it very much. So, but I will be taking a look at the Highlight Maker Hoops as well as the Highlight Maker Hoops Prime Time. I will be taking a look at that. Let's see. So what have you guys been playing? Let me know if you're in the chat room here. What have you guys been playing? I'd like to know what you guys have been doing because I want to get some ideas for our next show. Ron and I are trying to figure out when we're going to record and what we're going to be talking about on the next show. We got to set up our next guest as well for Digital to Dice. We have a few guests that we've been lining up some guests, and now we got to kind of nail them down. We did 2 or 3 guests in a row, so we like to spread out the guests a little bit. Unless it's a time sensitive thing, then we'll get them on. I got to get a hold of Grant. We've been going back and forth about getting him on the show to talk about his new hockey game, which I don't have yet. He said he was going to send that out so I could check it out and play it here on the channel, but I don't have it yet. So I know he's been busy with that. And we're going to get Clay Dresslock on to talk some season ticket, okay? Because we got to play some season tickets. Great. In fact, I have my right here. I got my teams from '86 that I printed out, so I can play my Clemens games here. And as I need a team, I print it out. That's kind of what I'm doing with this here, with that season ticket. So instead of sitting there printing out all the teams and spending all these out, I just if who they're playing, if I don't have them, I'll print them out, and in 10 minutes, I can have them printed and be ready to play a game. So, oh yeah, Andrew says he's playing an ultra quick 2023 WNBA season. And Vegas is 20-0 at the All-Star break with ultra quick basketball from Downey. Yeah, they are coming out with some new seasons for them, and that's great. I'm glad because those ultra quick games are fun. I did the Downey final score hockey the entire 70-71 season, and some of the results were pretty scary. I hit a couple right on. I think most of the standings are right on, but there was a couple like third and fourth place teams were switched. Hit some of the goals against and goals for right on. It was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. It just goes to show you how accurate that game is. And let's see, Desbian comes by. Good to talk to you. Thanks for coming by. John Clausen says, I keep saying that I'm not going to play more than for football for a while, then I watch you, and it makes me want to play it all over again, doesn't it? Yeah, excuse me. It's just so great. And I went a week without playing it. And when I pulled it out the other day, of course, I got the Detroit Tampa Bay game. That was terrible. But it was so fun, and I forgot how much fun it was. And I got my charts over here that I need, and I got my extra stuff that I printed out from Ogard's site. And it just took me a couple of series to get back into it. But once I got back into the swing of it, I was like, oh man, this is great. Calling plays, seeing them work out. You get your interceptions, your fumbles. It's the Tampa Bay returner, was it Cotney or something like that. He's a defensive back, the free safety, and he's returning punt, and he fumbled, muffed 2 punts in a row. So you're out. You ain't returning any more punts. Because what I like to do is when I'm playing the 78 season, or actually when I'm playing anything right now, except if it's a one-off fun thing, I like to go to Pro Football Reference and get the lineups. Let's see who started. Let's see who got the kick returns and who got the punt returns. And I give them the majority of the stuff like they did in real life. So I don't care who the prime punt returner was or the prime kick returner was. I'm going to go and look at the stats for that game. That way I know who was in there. I just like to do it that way. And he muffed 2 punts in a row. So they got them both. Tampa Bay got them both back, I think. But yeah, just see you later. Bring in the next guy. So no more punt returns for you. Oh, it was terrible. Alan says, I'm about 100 games into my 87 Red Sox and Mets as played replays with payoff pitch. Like you, once I made the decision about how to handle base running, the game flies, and I really enjoy it. What I did, Alan, is I was struggling because what I was doing was the basic optional. Okay. So how I was doing it is anything off of tough was just 1 base. Anything off of wheelhouse was an extra base. And then if it was in play or patient, I would use the fast action card. Now that's what I was doing. And then everything with 2 outs was an extra base for everybody. But then when I looked at the advanced running, I was like, the idea of a 5 runner automatically getting that extra base with 2 outs just didn't jive with me. So what I started to do was tough is still going to be just, if it's a single, it's 1 base. That's it. Even with 2 outs, I think I said you got to be a 6 runner or higher. Because 6s and 7s are like the faster runners. 6, 7s, and 8s are the faster runners. So if you're 6 or better, you will get the 2 outs on tough. Otherwise, I mean, the extra base with 2 outs. Otherwise, if you're less than 6, no matter what happens, you're not going to get the extra base on tough. So I'm still working it out, but it seemed to be I felt a little bit better about it than just flipping the fast action card. Because someone put it pretty good. They were making fun of me in the comments, but they hit it on the head. He goes, so you want a game that's nice and easy and basic to figure out base running, but you want to factor in the ratings of the players. And you can't have it both ways. It's either a basic running pattern or it's advanced with all the running things, and you got to figure it out. And yeah, that's where I am. I'm right in the middle. So for me, I wanted to factor in some of the runner speeds. So I kind of did that a little bit. So I'm still working it out. And the base running, it stumps me in a lot of different games because I overthink. I just don't like anything to be automatic. I mean, it's easier if it's automatic. If you just say any base hit with 2 outs is an extra base. So every single, everyone gets 2 bases, and every double, everybody gets 3 bases. That's great. But it's just automatic, and it just doesn't feel like I want to account for everything. And I think taking into account players' speed is kind of a big deal in baseball. But I also, what's great about payoff pitch is you do have, the tough, the in play, the patient, and the wheelhouse. So you have a specific tough. It means the pitcher pitched really well. He got a hit. Wheelhouse is he threw him a meatball and he crushed it and he put it where he wanted to. So I think when it comes off a tough, you got to fight for that extra base. But on wheelhouse, everyone should get it, even me. And then you get the patient in play, which is kind of in the middle. And so that's when I do use the fast action cards for that. But I still don't have it down. But I played a game the other day and it was better. I wasn't fighting it as much. Whatever I was doing, I kind of enjoyed, and I don't remember exactly what I did, but it was something to that effect. That I was figuring in some of the players' running speed. Made me feel better about it. That's all. But I still haven't figured it out yet. But I'm whittling it down. I should just flip the fast action card and be done with it. But again, it's not factoring in player speed. And Thespian says, I just picked up a couple new seasons for Strat Basketball PC, 73, 74, and 90, 91. He loves the old Knicks and follows the Bulls' rise closely. So, thus, those are the seasons he picked up. So he likes the Bulls. So, yeah, so anything in the early 90s to mid 90s with Michael Jordan, that's going to be a fun time. I want to go back and play that Strat PC basketball. I know Ron plays it, enjoys it. I have a handful of seasons, obviously, some of the better Celtics seasons. And I have played that and enjoyed it. But my thing is I was enjoying the animation. And then my animation just went to a crawl. And it bummed me out because that game was so fun until the animation just died on me. And it was so good for so long. You could see the guy do the layup. You could see the guy take the shot. And that's what made it fun for me. You know, it's a video game. It was fun. And Ron turns all that off and just does the fast action cards, which is probably what I should do instead of having the animation because it'll play quicker and less chance of an error. But it just stinks that it was working so well. And I could follow it along. Here's the shot, and it would make the noise if it went in and bounce out if it didn't. And that was kind of fun. It just gave it a little bit of something. And then it stopped working. And I know Al's like quit working altogether. Now I don't think I've tried it here in the new computer, so I could be borked. You know, I could fire it up and it might not work at all. Because I installed it, but I don't know if I've played it yet. And he says, I know you're into Hoops PC and thinking about picking that up. I was a huge Status Pro basketball fan all the way into the early 90s. Ron says that this is a combination of Hoops PC is a combination of Strat basketball and Status Pro basketball. Now, I am not real familiar with the Status Pro basketball. I've played Status Pro hockey and baseball, but I haven't played the football or the basketball. So I couldn't tell you if it's like Status Pro basketball or not. It does feel a lot like Strat, whereas there's a fast action card that tells you who has the ball and who he's going up against. Usually it's the guy he's, battling against. And that's all on the screen. And I love that because as somebody who doesn't know much about basketball, I love seeing how Bird's guarding this guy and, Cedric Maxwell's guarding this guy and, DJ's guarding this guy. And yes, and when you hover over that, it tells you what all the things say. It's like how many fouls they have, how many points they have, how much rest they need. It's all right there on the screen. And that's perfect for a guy like me. And when you click it, it brings up, Bird's card against his defense guy. It tells you on the fast action card on the side, what you're looking at, if you're reading off a Bird's card or the other guy's card. And then you roll the dice and you can follow along if he takes a shot, if he makes a pass, if it's blocked. Hoops PC just does a great job. Great job with it. So yeah, I've been into that because I like following along with cards and dice. I do. It's to me, it's even if the computer is doing it all, I like to follow along with it. So like when I play replay basketball or replay baseball, when I get the dice roll and I like to look at the card and follow along this, because I want to know what's happening. I just don't want to click, and just, I want to know, okay, if I roll a 6 and a 2, what does this mean? What does 6 and a 2 mean? Did I get it right? And when I do and follow along, that's my enjoyment. It's kind of following along the game and allows me to broadcast the game in my head, whether I'm live or not. I still broadcast it. But if you can't follow along, then you can't do that. But I can follow along with Hoops PC, even a little bit with Strat. I can follow along a little bit with the Strat basketball. But I've been enjoying it. And to you, it feels more like Strat. I would agree. Well, again, I haven't played the Status Pro, but it's heavy on the Strat feel, and I do like that. And I like how it's bigger. Strats, everything's so small. These are nice and big. There's a lot of pop-ups, And so when Ron was watching, he goes, "Boy, there's a lot of pop-ups." I said the same thing when I was watching other guys play hoops PC. It's like, do all these pop-ups drive you nuts? Because when you're watching it, it does. It's like pop up. Here's the shot. Oh, here's the foul shot. Here's the rebound. Here's the this. Here's the that. Here's the other thing. And all these pop-ups keep coming up. But when you're playing it, you're expecting it, and it doesn't bother you. But it's tough to watch. I will admit it is tough to watch. And he also says the fast action cards really made Status Pro flow. The flow was great. Ron seemed to think that he likes hockey games and basketball games with fast action cards. He seems to think that works out the best. Alan says, I use the Lewis Research payoff pitch helper until 2 outs. Then I use the advanced rule. 6 or better gets the extra base. What is strange, in 77, they have George Scott as an 8 runner. Yeah, that's true too. Is some of these speed ratings can be subjective. So I will agree with that, Alan. I really should just stick to my guns and just, if it's tough, it's 1 base. If it's wheelhouse, it's an extra base. Everything else, fast action card. That's what I should do, just and make my life simpler. But as it is, when you have that option, like even when I play strat hockey or strat baseball, sometimes I enjoy playing the basic or a little bit of advanced, but you're always wondering, what if I want to add more to this game? What if I want to start looking at the throwing arms and the speed of the runner and really, really get involved? And that's what I'm guilty of with payoff pitches. I'm seeing that there's all these other ways to factor in more of the input and the ratings on the cards. And now I start thinking about it, thinking about doing that. And I just need to settle on something to be done with it. And I can't. And that's on me. Ron McGrath comes by. Hi, Ron. And Fenner coming by. Hopefully your work schedule a little bit better, Fenner. I know you were doing some crazy hours there. I'm in a little lull right now. We had the most of the weekend off. And when I have a day off, it messes me up. I mean, because I know what time, morning or night, I need to be at the rink. I need to know when I'm sitting down here in the computer doing my schedule. And when I have that day off and I don't go to the rink, or I don't have to make that schedule, or do my stats or wash my jersey, I'm all messed up. I just don't work 9 to 5. I work crazy hours. In fact, like I say, I worked this morning, and then I had the afternoon off, and then I worked tonight. It's just kind of how it worked out. So I need to be busy to keep me going. When the play-by-play kicks in and I'm on the go, and I'm going from this rink to that rink to working at the house to sleep for 2 hours and go to the next rink, that's when I function. But the busier I am, the better I am. When I have my downtime, I just I'm down. Maybe that's what you need, is the rest. But it's like I get up, I do some work, and then I'll watch some TV, or I'll crash, and then I'll do some more work, and then I just get real lazy when I'm not go go go. So and that's how I've always been. The busier I am, the better I function. When I'm slow, I don't want to get up. Like Homer Simpson, do I got to get up? So, and then I get lazy too, and I don't play as many things. Like over the weekend, I had all this time to play. I got Saturday, Sunday, and Monday all off. I could have played all day, and I didn't. I didn't. I think Sunday I just watched TV and slept all day. I was just like, I'm just beat. Just don't feel like doing anything. I don't even feel like setting up and playing. That's how bad it was. I think at night I got a second wind around 10 o'clock at night, and I come on here and played. So I need to find a better play schedule. Figure out what I want to play too. I'm kind of all over the place. And take care, Thespian. Thanks for coming by. So just kind of seeing what everybody's playing here tonight. Myself, I'm in a little bit of a basketball mode right now, and I'm kind of enjoying the new Hoops PC that I picked up. I'm enjoying the Downey Player of the Game basketball, and I will be picking up a couple of more seasons on that for sure with the next Downey sale. That's for sure. What else have I been playing? I got to figure out what I'm going to do with my APA 75 football season. I don't know how crazy I'm going to get with that. I kind of bought that because that was the first season that I remember watching the Super Bowl and caring about the Super Bowl, was 75. But when going back, I want to play some Len Dawson. I want to play some Roman Gabriel. I want to play. I think Plunkett was still on the Patriots at that point. So there's a bunch of quarterbacks that I want to get on the table and play. And I don't know if I'm going to do a little tournament with it or if I'm just going to play a one-off. Because sometimes it's fun. I don't know about you. Do you ever just pull out the cards and play a game just so you can use the cards and see the cards? Maybe that's a good topic for a show. Is it is we talked about the one-offs, but what is it about the one-offs? For me, it's about at least playing a game. You're playing, it's just fun. You're playing guys that you want to play, maybe teams that you haven't played, but at least they're on the table. Like all my APA hockey back here and a couple APA baseball as well. Sometimes I just go over there and take two teams to throw them on a table and play. And it's not anything. There's no stats. I just play the game, and I enjoy it for what it is. And it's like, okay, that's kind of cool. I played a game from that season because I hate seeing the things sit over there. So every now and then I got to pull something out and play it, and I just feel better about myself that I've actually played something for that season because I collect them, I have them, and I don't like to have them sit there. I do like to use them, and I'll do that. I used to do that with Strat all the time. I go find some Strat baseball, and just throw it on the table, and play a game of Strat baseball just so I can say I played with some of the cards, because it's a hobby and but it's also a collectible thing too. Excuse me, like my hats. I buy these for $3 or $4 when they have the sale. So I like to wear them. So like at least I get my my use out of it. Mark comes by and says Action PC 2023 NBA and 78 Yankees in APA. So, that's right. They do have that. I need to go to the DK Sports page. Hang on one second. I want to look this up if I can get there. So let me go to the basketball page. All right, so 2023. I don't know which version I have. I have 2021. So I'm a couple of versions back on the basketball. And so I don't have the stuff pulling up with the cards now on it. So let me go to the basketball games and seasons. Okay, they have the women's here, and they have 2016, through 2023, $7.67 for the women's 2023. So if I go to my basketball here and go to my seasons, and I don't know if I can find the WNBA. Oh, here it is. So let's go to their seasons. And so, no, WNBA 2023 standings. There we go. So, looks like it was the, what was the playoffs here? WNBA season. Here we go. So it was Las Vegas Aces and the New York Liberty. And those are the top two teams. They were, 34-6 for Las Vegas and 32-8 for New York. Yep, they are the two top teams in the WNBA. That is for sure. So whoever was playing them, the Vegas, and Vegas won it all, And Strat and Action have them both. Good. That's kind of good. I'm glad for that. I'm kind of interested if they might do something with this PWHL. They had a pretty decent inaugural season. The finals there went the distance, 5 games. They got some play on national TV. I know Nesson up here carried some games. I couldn't find it on TV tonight. Maybe I just didn't know what channel to look at, but it was on YouTube. And that's why YouTube is such a great tool for showing stuff off. I mean, our roller hockey leagues, we did a lot on YouTube and other platforms. We couldn't get our roller hockey leagues on regular TV, so we use these platforms here, and that's how you get it out to the world. And Mark says Vegas won it all. Noble comes by. Good to talk to you, Noble. We haven't chatted in quite some time. He's playing the Cubs 2024 projection. Status Pro replay and 84 Cubs and payoff pitch. I don't know. Do I have 80? I have 85 for payoff pitch printed. And then he took it off the site. And I remember going back. It's like, where did 85 go? I mean, I have it, but it's just like, what happened? I mean, why did it come down? So I guess I don't know what he was doing then. He says he's going to get back on the site soon. So something happened with payoff pitch 85, but luckily I have it. I think I have 78 and 80 for sure. I know I have 80 for sure. I think I have 78 and then maybe 70. 79 I printed. So I didn't have the I printed the PDF. But I have a good chunk of seasons with payoff pitch. So I need to figure out the base running. And I almost have it. Luckily, it doesn't come up too often. Every now and then there's a 2-out hit, and I'm like, oh boy, what do I do now? Do I look at the speed? Do I flip a card? I just need to settle on something. I really do. And I will. And Alan says, I need to let myself enjoy a one-off game just for the fun of it. I tend to be too goal-oriented and usually play games toward a final result, like a season replay, because I have to loosen up more. And I hear that. I get it. There's a lot of people I hear that they play they don't like to do the one-off because it's not part of anything. It's just kind of like an orphan. Just and I hear that. I hear that, you just kind of playing two teams. It's like, well, why bother? Well, why bother? Because I enjoy that. I enjoy the sporadic game. I enjoy, every now and then pulling out a game of Apple hockey and playing some old Blackhawks and Bruins and just let them play. And to me, the thrill of seeing Orr and Esposito and Dryden and LaFleur on my tabletop is just awesome. Phil Esposito, Ken Hodge. When these guys score goals, it's a big deal for me. It is. When I play Freddie Lynn and he hits a home run, it's a big deal for me. These are my, childhood heroes on the sports scene. When I grew up watching these guys and I like playing them. And so for me, if I bounce around from game to game to game, great. Because if I sit down and try like this 78 Apple football project, I'm kind of chipping away at every game. Now, if I just sat there and did that and nothing else, I wouldn't get to play all this other stuff. So I enjoy jumping around. I do. I like to have some fun. And for me, the one-off games are perfect because I can pull out a game I haven't played in a long time, put it here, play the one game, and be done with it. And I don't have to commit to anything, but it does feel kind of hollow sometimes when you play a game. You're like, well, that was great, but it wasn't part of anything. But does it have to be part of anything? Can you just play a game and be done with it? And I used to do that sometimes, when I did play Madden and I did play NHL on the Xbox and the PlayStation. You play a game, and sometimes so I would always start a season. I'd play one game and I'd never get back to it. So sometimes I just go play the scrimmage game. I'm going to play this guy and this guy, exhibition game, and play it and have some fun with it. And it wasn't part of anything. It wasn't part of the season. It wasn't part of a bigger project. I played two teams and had some fun with it. Because a lot of times I wasn't going to finish the season. And very, very rarely did I ever finish the season. So, but anyway, just wanted to catch up with everybody during the middle of the week here. Just coming on to say hi. So hopefully we'll be recording a show in a couple of days. We're trying to find a good topic. If you have a topic that you might want to have Ron and I discuss on the show, let us know in the comments and let me know what you're playing. And maybe that'll spur some kind of discussions as well, when we find out what you guys are playing here. But I'm going to jump out here. I need to try to get some sleep tonight so I can get back to the gym tomorrow. And then hopefully I need to play something tomorrow. I don't know if Ron's on at noon. They've been doing some work in his place, so I don't know if he's on at noon. If he's not, maybe I'll jump on. If not, then I'll jump on tomorrow night. We'll see. And but I've been enjoying my Action PC Baseball. I just picked up the new version, Action PC Baseball. I really like that. Action PC Football. I've been playing the 79 season. I'm kind of doing a game of the week. I need to get back to that. I like that. And the Hoops PC. So the three games I picked up on the computer, I'm enjoying the heck out of it, as well as all my tabletop games too. And I need to pull out some gems that I haven't played in a while, like the second season. I need to do that and just really enjoy that. Because there's so many games I got that, you get stuck on a game. That's what stinks. It stinks, but it doesn't stink because you get stuck on a game. You're like, man, I love this game. I can't stop playing this game. but then you want to play one of your other games too. And it's a good problem to have. It's some good crispy duck. It's a good problem to have. As Philip Reynolds comes by, and he's been a busy boy playing his games as well. Steeler fan shows up. So we got to get Steeler fan ready, hopefully, for the next Chicago Wales game, which I almost did that tonight. But I ended up getting kind of beat. And I was watching the end of the women's championship hockey game and doing a couple other things, so I never got to set it up. So maybe that's what we'll do tomorrow night, like supper time-ish here. We'll get the Whales back on. See if we can get the Whales back in the win column. Holy cow. We won opening day, and I think we're 2-8 right now. So the Whales are not doing good. That's the name of my new team, by the way. My team is going to be called the Whales in our Saturday league. We just picked our teams, and I'm going to play this season, or at least I'm going to try. And so I'm on the Whales. So I'll have to wear my Chicago Whales hat to the rink. No one's going to know what it is because they don't follow the 1915 Federal League like we do, right? We follow the Federal League. That's what we do. Yes, it is. It is Wales baseball. And Fennon's going to play another game of shootout tonight. That's fun. I need to play that last season they just released. I need to play that one. I get 90-91, which I really enjoy. And I think I put some of those teams into the helper. And then they have the new season. Was it 23, 24 they released? I think it was. That's the new season. Was it shootoutHockeyGame.com? And it was the 22, 23, and the 90-91. They should be releasing this season pretty soon. Yeah, because it's always May. Yeah, we should be hearing that pretty soon, that the new season's coming out. So in March, they released 90-91. And usually it's the end of May. End of May, early June is when they start releasing the new seasons. So, yeah, so hopefully we'll get that. We'll get the new shootout season here pretty soon, too. So, anyway. All right, folks, I'm going to jump out. Hopefully we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. So, again, let me know what you're playing. Just catching up with you guys midweek and seeing what's going on. And Fairness says those fast action cards make the game flow so well. Yes, it does. I love the fast action cards. I played that shootout hockey with dice for the longest time. And when I went to fast action cards, I kind of never looked back. And I'm not a fast action guy, but that game, how that game does it, it just does it well. Now, I have 2 decks. Okay. Actually, I have 3. I got the one at Staples that I got when I first got the game. They actually printed it on heavy stock and cut it for me. And they gave me a good deal. I don't think they would do that again, not at that price. And then I got the $20 pack from Drive Through Cards. So I alternate between those 2 packs. And the Staples one I don't have anymore. But, yeah, the fast action cards are great. Good night, Barbara. Hopefully the Rangers will do well. I think they're playing. Is it tomorrow night they're playing? Or Friday night? The Rangers should be back on. And we'll see how that goes. But, yep. So thanks for coming by, folks. And we'll talk to you all later. Have a good night. Bye-bye.